Morning, everybody. It's a happy hump day for us. AJ doesn't know it yet, but we got a project we got to knock out today. We got to try to get our sign up. But the wind is not blowing. This sign is humongous. When a sign gets up on a wall, it doesn't look so big, or when it gets in the air. But these signs are humongous, and they're a little awkward to work with. On top of that, we have got major construction going on. AJ put a little clip in of that. The road is shut down out front. Our parking lot is shut down. It's going to be a cluster of a day, but we're going to make the best of it. So let's get into it. As you can see, we got construction going on today, and they are putting in a new telephone pole. So it is not going to be the most convenient thing happening here. Thankfully, phone's ringing and busy, but our drive-by traffic is going to be pretty snarled up today. And I think they're continuing to go down the road. They did this pole here a few years back when they came through. So you can see the difference in this old pole and the new one. It is pretty tremendous. But the infrastructure, I was talking to somebody the other day, this world has got a lot of lack of infrastructure and infrastructure failure to come. You imagine cities like Richmond and Petersburg, there's infrastructure under the ground that's 200 and 300 years old. It can't last forever. I guess they never figured we were going to last this long. So it's something you don't think about very often, but when you're in construction and doing the things like we do all the time, infrastructure is a big deal. You want to do it once, do it right, and you never think about 200 and 300 and 400 years later. I don't know how long these power poles have been up. I don't know how long, this road's been here a long time. So somebody can answer that question. If you know, that's great trivia. Tell us. But the guys are doing a good job, real polite fellas, and hopefully they're not going to get us shut down but so much. And if you guys happen to see a time-lapse video on one of the socials, we can try to get the sign up. We are working diligently. I have something almost every day talking about infrastructure, on our infrastructure to improve things. Signs, banners, cleanup related things. Every single day, myself, AJ, David, all of us have little tasks. And very, very soon, Calvin will too. Calvin's on kind of a on and off right now while they're finishing up some stuff at school and different things. But all of us will have our little task every day going forward to lead up to our open house and to lead up to just having the facility as clean as I want, as nice as we want it to be for everyday traffic, but especially for the people that are going to travel from literally all over the country for this open house. So working hard at it, guys. Also got some cool vendors. Keep forgetting to mention that, but I will mention the vendors and the vendor list as we get closer, because you guys are going to be really excited to hear about that. Some really cool people that I know y'all are going to want to come and meet. As if we're not cool enough, there's some ones that'll be a little bit cooler. So that's going to be neat as well. Thanks, guys. Not as long, not as in-depth of a video today. AJ may throw in some other little surprises, but at this point, we're going to try to get our stuff done, and the sign project's going to consume the rest of the day for the most part for us. Thanks. So I think I need to re-emphasize today about what's going on in this building right here. And 1, 2, 3, 5 other buildings that are just like this currently. So I've always had a collection problem. Started with baseball cards, then garbage pail kids, you name it. Things that go bang and boom. I've always had a collecting hobby. And when you're in the car business, obviously you collect cars and trucks. But I got on this kick because a very, very, very good friend of mine, Binky Tabscott, put together an amazing collection of three-wheelers and four-wheelers. And we visit with him. I talk with him quite often. And his one thing he always said was, and I don't know how he knew this, JW, don't get on a three-wheeler kick. Don't get on a three-wheeler kick. Well, he said it for 2 reasons. One, he didn't want me to be competition of him buying his collection. But 2, he knew how it would go for me, because when we talked, we had the same similarities. My parents would not let us have a three-wheeler. We did have some four-wheelers early on, which I still have, our original four-wheeler, which means a ton to us. I was able to give my brothers their first four-wheelers back for Christmas that they had 20 plus years ago. So there was all these things that were spiraling. But for those that were told no, what's the biggest thing you want to do when you're told no? You want to turn that around when you can, when you're an adult. And I put it off. I've ridden a couple three-wheelers. I owned a very few. And then once started buying a few, it just got out of hand. Now here's the coolest part though. A lot of the stuff that I have been able to come across is just like when we find our square bodies. They're barn finds. I have one over there that the man bought brand new, used it for 1 year. I think he got hurt on it possibly. These were dangerous. I don't condone riding them, but collecting them I condone all day long. And he put it away. Original bill of sale, original paperwork. It is 40 years since it was ridden. It's amazing. It's a time capsule. We love those finds. Those finds for us are the biggest high in the car business and in the truck business, but when you got it in this size right here, it's not too hard to put away. So finding a barn find car or truck these days is getting rare. Finding these, somebody shoves them under a workbench, puts a tarp over it, and forgets it's there, literally. So it's pretty cool. But we've been able to amass a pretty amazing collection, and I don't think about it as much until we have somebody come by like yesterday. We had a guy come by yesterday that's kind of I guess you call him kind of an expert of these things. And once he started spouting off some stuff, we were in there talking a little bit. AJ will kind of pan over a few of these different ones. But he said, do you have this one? Yes, sir. Do you have this one? Yes, sir. And so he came over here with AJ and actually walked through them. And again, this is just 1/10 of the current collection, if I had to guess. He was mind blown at some of the different stuff. Rare option bikes, rare color bikes, bikes that are possibly ridden once or twice ever, that are also, again, most of these bikes are 40 years old. So it re-excited my passion a little bit. And our biggest thing was, in doing this, is we're going to put them on the wall. We're going to stack them. We're going to organize them. So we are looking for somebody that does metal fabrication work. Yes, that's what we do in our shop, Brian and Daniel, every day, all day long. But we don't have the time to disturb that. I can't ask that of them for this task. But like these racking systems here, we want to basically make these racking systems so that we can get them up off the ground, not take up any warehouse space, or if we take up any space, we're only taking up this much space. And AJ's gonna trip over them, they're everywhere. It has become a problem. Like, they are spread high and low, but I just can't, guys, I can't get over the passion that I have for this. It's the same passion we have for our trucks, but just in a different form. And the coolest part, and I've said to this to so many people, one of the very first ones I parted with was a Big Red. And the customer bought a little over $100,000 square body. So a very expensive square body truck. But he said, JW, would you let go of one of your Big Reds? And that was early on in my collection. I said, no, I really don't want to. He said, well, if you change your mind, let me know. We were doing some work on his truck. When the truck was finished, weeks and weeks later, I had thought about it, and I said, you know what? He was very polite. He didn't push. He said he had one. His father had one. His grandfather had one. They weren't with us any longer, and it would mean a lot to him. So I said, you know what? I picked one out, looked at what I had in it, made $500 or so on it, told him what the cost was. He said, no problem. Sent the money. We loaded in the bed of the truck. So here's the big thing about these. Shipping is a disaster. These things can disappear. They get stolen. They get scammed all the time. So we put it in the bed of the truck, strapped it down, delivered his truck, delivered his three-wheeler. Here's where it really hit me. Since that point, I've got Happy Thanksgiving text, Merry Christmas text, but the most text I got are about his Big Red. I wrote it to the mailbox. I took my granddaughter for a ride. I took my, wife for a ride. We pulled a trailer. We did some yard work with the Big Red. And that's awesome, but I am. I'm like, how about your truck? How do you like your truck? Oh, the truck's great. Sitting over in the building. It's all good, man. Everything's great. But that Big Red, man, I love it. So he spent a fraction of the cost to have something like this, or like it was actually kind of like this one. And he was blown away. And a big part of it was he appreciated letting one go. And it was a nice one. It really was a really well-kept Big Red. And these were tools. So here's the other cool part. Nobody in 1980s bought a square body and said, this is a collector's item. I'm going to hold on to it forever. They didn't do it. It's like in collecting guns. You know what a gun was in the 1900s and the 1800s? It was a tool. It was something you got dinner with. And then he brought it in out of the rain and you shoved it in the closet. You never cleaned it, you never maintained it, you lost it in the creek, you passed it down and the grandson threw it away. They were tools. Why are they collector's items now? They don't make them anymore. They'll never make them like they used to. And then most of them are gone. Three-wheelers were the same way. Three-wheelers like this were a tool. A farmer bought it. No kid went out and said, I want to buy a big red. Never happened. It wasn't exciting. It was a tool. So the big reds to us are really cool. The racing bikes, phenomenal, but they're also pretty tore up because most of the time they got raced. I'm guilty of that. I had an 88 250R when they were really close to new. First thing I did was take the stupid factory packs. To me, plastic was stupid. Took it off and put aftermarket plastic. Threw away the plastic that's worth $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 today. Threw it away because I didn't care about it. I wanted to modify it. I wanted to change it. Took the pipe off, took the silencer off. That's the stuff today that we're buying back to restore these things. It's crazy how things change. It's crazy how that is. A 69 Camaro, that was a sports car. A Corvette, that was a sports car. People bought those for a different reason. People did not buy square body trucks to ever collect them. And they never bought ATCs and ATVs back then. They were tools or they were racing bikes. There was really no in between. And they all got a hard life. So when we find these ones that are as special as they are, like this one here, this was a run-of-the-mill 125, pretty affordable. I got a sheet that shows what it cost. I think this was $1,200 when it was new. That bike's on original tires, all original bike, original stickers, original plastic, original seat. I mean, that's like buying a 5,000 mile 1987 square body. They just don't exist. It's super cool. So our collection is always changing. That's what me and the man yesterday really talked about. He was like, I can see what you did. He said, you bought some good ones, and then you bought some better ones, and then you bought some like incredible better ones. And that is exactly what's happened. So when some of them are for sale, like this one here, is on the website for sale, it's because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's either 5 or 6 of this exact year and exact model. This one, I don't have any history with. It was just a purchase. It was a nice bike, but the one beside it is the one I was talking about. This bike was used for the first year and then parked. I have every piece of paperwork from where it was purchased new in Virginia. It's fully original. The guy said maybe 1 tank of gas ever ran through it. That's it. That one will never leave here. It's the most special one in that size group that there is. All the original handle grips, just super cool stuff. So you can have a passion about a lot of things in life. This is just one of the things that we're super passionate about, and we're able to fulfill some of our customers. Matter of fact, this, I hadn't even told you yet, AJ, but it appears that this one here is going to go home with the big blue and gray truck that Daniel and Brian are finishing. Customer just loves three-wheelers, grew up on them as well, and now he's able to have a truck lifted by us and accessorized that he purchased from us, and I think that bike's going to go home with him when it leaves here. So we need to deal with that. So thanks, guys, as always. Hope that is pretty cool. We got to get out here and get some other stuff done, but I wanted to throw that little insert in because it is something that's very special. And if you guys know of a collection or you know of any bikes sitting around and you want to see them go to a good home, we'd be a good home. A lot of these bikes will never leave here, ever. Not in my lifetime. And they will be organized and stored and climate kept, and we will be the caretakers for a long time to come. So thanks for listening to that little blurb about stupid three-wheelers.